1. Bluey is coming to Disney parks? That's right. Bluey is heading to Disney theme parks and cruise lines. Starting in 2025, you'll be able to meet Bluey and experience her world in a whole new way. This is a major expansion for the beloved children's franchise. Young fans are already speculating about what a Bluey movie might look like. Get ready for some real-life moments. 2. Audra McDonald stuns in Gypsy revival. The legendary Audra McDonald is taking on the iconic role of Mama Rose in the revival of Gypsy. And the reviews are in. She's absolutely phenomenal. Critics are calling her performance stunning and soaring. This revival is generating major buzz, with stories even surfacing that Whoopi Goldberg once tried to secure the rights to Wicked back in the 90s. It seems like everyone wants a piece of these powerful musicals. 3. Max pulls the plug on new Sesame Street episodes. Max has decided not to renew its deal for new episodes of the iconic children's show, Sesame Street. This means the show is currently on hiatus while the nonprofit behind it searches for a new home. Elmo might be sad, but hopefully, Sesame Street will find a new platform to continue educating and entertaining kids for generations to come. 4. Virgin River. Season 6. What we know, Virgin River Season 6 is on the horizon, and we've got the scoop on the release schedule and what to expect. While we don't know if there will be a part 2, we do know there's a big wedding, some major cliffhangers, and plenty of drama. The showrunner has even teased the theme for Season 7, so there's a lot to look forward to in this cozy, heartwarming series. Bafide, a raunchy new take on love and loss. Laid is a new comedy series that's being described as acerbic and raunchy. It puts a unique spin on the classic single girl story, exploring themes of sex and death with a lot of humor. Critics are praising its fresh take on familiar tropes. If you're looking for something bold and a little bit wild, Laid might be your next binge watch. Number 6. Superman trailer drops with a Cleveland connection. The trailer for the new Superman movie has finally arrived, and it's packed with action. Familiar faces like Green Lantern and Hawkgirl, and even Crypto the Superdog. What's really cool is that the trailer features a lot of Cleveland, where parts of the movie were filmed. While the trailer is getting mostly positive buzz, some are calling Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner a massive dork due to his bowl-cut hairdo. You'll have to see it for yourselves. Also, Jesse Eisenberg recently commented that negative reviews of his Lex Luthor role in Batman 5 Superman hurt his career. 7. The Brutalist and Anora, indie films making waves. The Brutalist, starring Adrian Brody, is a bold architectural saga that's getting rave reviews. Brody plays an architect whose dedication borders on exhaustion. Meanwhile, Anora is another indie darling making noise. Filmmakers Brady Corbett and Sean Baker recently discussed the challenges of making these kinds of movies in America and why obsessing over box office numbers is, in their words, Trump-coded. It's a fascinating look into the world of independent cinema. 8. Mufasa, The Lion King, prequel, reviews are in. Mufasa the Lion King, a prequel to the beloved animated film, is hitting theaters soon, and the early reviews are mixed. Some critics are calling it hollow and out of ideas, while others are curious about the new voice of Mufasa. It seems like this one might be a bit of a gamble for Disney. We'll have to wait and see how audiences react. 9. Ethan Slater's ex-wife opens up about divorce amid his romance with Ariana Grande. Ethan Slater's ex-wife, Lily J, has broken her silence about their divorce and his highly publicized relationship with Ariana Grande. She's spoken about navigating this public downfall of her marriage and how difficult it's been to deal with it all in the spotlight. This situation has been a tabloid sensation, and it seems like everyone has an opinion on it. 10. Taylor Swift's Eras-themed birthday bash, courtesy of Travis Kelce. Taylor Swift had an Eras tour-themed birthday party, and it was all thanks to her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. He even gifted her the 22 hat, a nod to her own tradition. The party was a star-studded affair, with guests like pregnant Brittany Mahomes making an appearance. It seems like Travis is really embracing Taylor's world, and fans are loving it. 11. Kylie Kelce's podcast tops charts. Unfazed by Joe Rogan, Kylie Kelce's podcast, Not Gonna Lie, has dethroned Joe Rogan at the top of the Spotify charts. But Kylie says she couldn't care less about topping the charts. Her podcast is a breakout hit, praised for its refreshing honesty. It's great to see her success, and it seems like the Kelce family is having a major moment. 12. Diddy's legal troubles and a shocking allegation against his accuser's attorney. Diddy recently appeared in court, and reports say his time in jail is starting to wear on him. Meanwhile, a new lawsuit alleges that Tony Busby, the attorney representing Diddy's accusers, gave a woman a venereal disease. Busby claims it's a conspiracy orchestrated by Jay-Z's Roc Nation, who he says is trying to flip his clients. Jay-Z's lawyers have also filed to dismiss the rapper from a rape lawsuit. This whole situation is getting messier by the minute. 13. Wendy Williams makes rare public appearance at son's graduation. Wendy Williams, who has been battling dementia, made a rare public appearance at her son's college graduation. She was seen riding a mobility scooter and reportedly cried during the ceremony. This is a touching glimpse into her life as she navigates her health challenges. We're sending our best wishes to Wendy and her family. Grace O'Malley joins Unwell Network after Barstool exit. Grace O'Malley, formerly of Barstool Sports, has found a new home at Alex Cooper's Unwell Network. This comes after some drama surrounding her exit from Barstool, with Dave Portnoy himself stepping in to defend his friend. It seems like Grace is moving on to new ventures, and we'll be watching to see what she does next. 15. Sydney Sweeney claps back at body shamers. After a series of bikini photos went viral and sparked some negative comments, Sydney Sweeney posed topless and slammed those who were criticizing her body. This has ignited a larger conversation about internet culture and the unrealistic expectations placed on women. It's great to see her standing up for herself and challenging these harmful standards. 16. Pamela Anderson's son on a mission to find her the perfect role. Brandon Thomas Lee has made it his personal mission to find the perfect role for his mother, Pamela Anderson. He even helped her get the script for The Last Showgirl, a project he's very passionate about. It's a heartwarming story of a son's love and support for his mom, and it'll be interesting to see how this collaboration unfolds. 17. John Lennon's son, Julian, reveals second cancer scare. Julian Lennon has revealed that he recently underwent emergency surgery after a second cancer diagnosis. He's asking for fingers crossed as he recovers. This is a reminder of the importance of early detection and regular checkups. We're sending positive vibes to Julian for a full and speedy recovery. 18. Landman actress reacts to viral scene with Billy Bob Thornton. Landman. Star Michelle Randolph has reacted to a scene with Billy Bob Thornton that has everyone talking. The scene, which involves a rather intimate father-daughter moment, has gone viral, and Randolph admits her face turned bright red when she first saw it. It's definitely a conversation starter, and it's getting a lot of attention for the show. 19. Prince William and Kate Middleton share family Christmas card. Prince William and Kate Middleton have revealed their family Christmas card for 2024, and it's a beautiful, intimate portrait featuring their children. The card offers a glimpse into their family life at what has been a difficult year for them. It's a lovely reminder of the joy and togetherness of the holiday season. Other news, Best of 2024, Almodovar's new film, Cuban punk rockers, and more. Before we go, a few more quick hits. Critics are already compiling their Best of 2024 lists for music, movies, and TV shows, so be sure to check those out. Pedro Almodovar's first English feature, The Room Next Door, is a meditation on death that's getting strong reviews. Los Frikis tells the incredible story of Cuban punk rockers who intentionally infected themselves with HIV to escape political repression. Also, it seems like everyone is acting like an a-hole lately, with a new compilation of 50 photos of infuriating people. Lastly, Jessica Simpson's new photo has fans saying she looks unrecognizable. 1. House Republicans reach funding deal, averting shutdown. For now, after weeks of deadlock and a lot of finger-pointing, House Republicans say they have reached a deal to fund the government. However, it's a very fragile compromise that might only postpone the inevitable. It's unclear if they can get it through the Senate. There are also concerns that hardliners in their own party may still try to derail it. 2. Trump intervenes, sinking debt ceiling bill and complicating shutdown negotiations. Reports are coming in that Trump intervened to sink a debt ceiling bill that was gaining traction. This has made the already difficult negotiations to avert a government shutdown even more complicated. Several Republican House members defied Trump's wishes to support a spending bill. With the clock ticking, the path forward is murky at best, and a shutdown is looking more and more likely. The Pentagon has warned that a shutdown would cost troops their pay over the holidays, and millions of federal workers are at risk of furlough. 3. Elon Musk's influence in government shutdown. Drama. Some politicians, including Hillary Clinton, are accusing Republicans of taking orders from the world's richest man to shut down the government. This follows other news that former President Trump intervened in negotiations to sink a debt ceiling bill. California Representative Barbara Lee expressed grave concerns about Musk essentially running the government. Musk has been flexing his political muscles lately, and this situation is raising eyebrows about the influence of billionaires in our political process. 4. Speaker Johnson's hold on power in jeopardy. After spending bill debacle, the recent spending deal debacle is seriously threatening Johnson's hold on the Speaker's gavel. One of his own party members, Representative Massey, has already said he won't support Johnson retaining the speakership. Analysts are now openly speculating about whether Johnson could even lose the Speaker election, which would throw the House into further chaos. This spending fiasco is turning into a real political minefield for him. 5. Millions may get expanded Social Security benefits. A new bill is gaining traction that could significantly expand Social Security benefits for millions of Americans. The Senate is expected to hold a final vote soon on a bill that would change some key rules, potentially leading to larger payouts. This is particularly relevant to government employees, who may have been affected by certain provisions in the past. It'll be interesting to see if Republicans will approve the bill, which could have big implications for retirees. Number 6. Biden administration announces ambitious climate goal. The White House has announced a new ambitious climate goal aimed at reducing U.S. emissions by 66% by 2035 from 2005 levels. This is part of the U.S. commitment to the Paris Climate Agreement. While environmental advocates are applauding the move, it's expected to face strong opposition from some in Congress and industry. Interestingly, reports suggest that former President Trump is expected to ignore this new target if he's reelected. March 7. Pentagon doubles number of U.S. troops in Syria. In a surprising revelation, the Pentagon has announced that the number of U.S. troops in Syria is actually double what was previously reported. There are now approximately 2,000 troops on the ground, according to the Department of Defense. Officials say this increased presence was put in place before Assad's potential fall. This announcement is sure to raise questions about the U.S.'s long-term strategy in the region. 8. Zelensky slams Putin's missile duel challenge. Ukrainian President Zelensky has called Russian President Putin a dumbass for proposing a missile duel. Putin had suggested that Western air defenses would have no chance against a Russian ballistic missile and challenged them to target Kyiv. Zelensky dismissed the challenge, highlighting the ongoing conflict's very real and dangerous nature. This exchange underscores the high stakes and increasingly personal nature of the war in Ukraine. 9. Luigi Mangione. Charged in UnitedHealthcare killing. Luigi Mangione is facing federal murder charges in connection with a killing at UnitedHealthcare. According to an affidavit, journal entries reveal Mangione's plan to whack the CEO of the healthcare giant. It is reported that he will be in the same Brooklyn jail as Sean Diddy Combs. The U.S. has filed charges that could carry the death penalty, making this a case with extremely high stakes. 10. Oklahoma executes man in nation's final execution of 2024. An Oklahoma man was executed by lethal injection for the murder of a 10-year-old girl, reportedly during a cannibalistic fantasy. This was the nation's final execution scheduled for 2024. The inmate expressed remorse, saying he would gladly die if it could undo his actions. The execution has renewed the debate around the death penalty, with some calling for its abolition and others arguing for its continued use. 11. New details emerge in Wisconsin's school shooting investigation. Authorities are still searching for a motive in the recent school shooting in Wisconsin. The shooter, a new student at the Christian school, reportedly had deep ties to her victims. A California man allegedly messaged the shooter about her plans prior to the attack. The community is still reeling from this tragedy, as loved ones mourn the loss of Ruby Patricia Vergara. 12. Philadelphia City Council approves new Sixers arena. The Philadelphia 76ers have received the green light from the City Council to build a new $1.3 billion arena in Center City. The plan faced some opposition and protests, but ultimately, the council voted in favor. This marks a major step forward for the Sixers' plans to create a new home for the team in the heart of Philadelphia. It will be interesting to see how this project develops and what impact it will have on the city. 13. FAA bans drones in parts of New Jersey. Amid sightings, federal regulators have prohibited drone flights in several locations across New Jersey. The FAA has temporarily banned drones in certain areas following numerous sightings, and a notice threatens deadly force for any imminent security threat. This has sparked what some are calling drone hysteria, with even a Skywatch team being formed to monitor the situation. This certainly raises questions about the future of drone use and privacy concerns. 14. Winter storm delivers season's biggest snow so far to Minnesota. Minnesota was hit by a major winter storm, bringing the season's biggest snowfall so far. The city of Minneapolis has declared a snow emergency as crews work to clear the roads. Residents are dealing with significant accumulations, and travel is expected to be difficult. If you're in the area, be sure to stay safe and check the latest updates before heading out. 1. Putin open to compromise in Ukraine war, but glosses over Russian setbacks. In a major statement, Russian President Vladimir Putin has indicated that Russia is ready to compromise to end the war in Ukraine. He's also expressed a willingness to engage in talks with former U.S. President Donald Trump. However, during a year-end news conference, Putin glossed over significant Russian setbacks, including those in Syria, and claimed the war has made Russia much stronger. This comes as Putin laments serious blunders in the killing of a top general and says he'll meet Trump anytime on the Ukraine war. 2. EU diplomat warns against pushing Zelensky into peace talks. The European Union's top diplomat is warning against pushing Ukrainian President Zelensky into peace talks with Russia prematurely. He argues that Russian negotiations could lead to a bad deal for Ukraine. There's also discussion among European allies about potentially deploying troops to Ukraine after the war to provide security guarantees, and the NATO leader says he wants to put Ukraine in a position of strength for any peace talks. 3. Ukraine says no more transit of Russian gas. EU leaders discuss alternatives. Ukraine has declared that it will no longer allow the transit of Russian gas through its territory. This comes as Putin vows no new Russian gas deal for the EU, while some leaders plead for an extension. EU leaders are now set to discuss gas transit alternatives with Zelensky in Brussels. It's a major shift in the energy landscape with potentially far-reaching consequences. 4. Putin admits Russian economy is overheating. Inflation an alarming signal. President Putin has acknowledged that Russia's economy is overheating and that inflation is an alarming signal. He's urging for a balanced central bank rate decision. Some analysts are warning that Moscow has not finished paying the price for its special operation in Ukraine. There's a growing sense that Putin's economic situation might be weaker than he lets on. 5. North Korean alliance with Russia. Gains, risks, and casualties. In Ukraine, North Korea's alliance with Russia is coming into sharper focus. While North Korea gains certain advantages from this partnership, it also faces significant risks. Reports are emerging that North Korean soldiers have been killed in Kursk as they enter the Russia-Ukraine war. South Korean intelligence estimates that at least 100 North Korean soldiers have been killed and 1,000 injured in the fighting. A Ukrainian brigade, falling back under a North Korean assault, even turned a river into a natural barrier. 6. The fall of Assad. Syria's fight for democracy begins. Mass graves uncovered. Reports indicate that Bashar al-Assad's regime in Syria has fallen. While this marks the end of Assad's rule, many believe Syria's fight for democracy is just beginning. One of Assad's mass graves has been discovered, containing as many as 100,000 bodies. The new Syrian interim government is pledging justice, jobs, and security in a new era. There's a mix of joy, worry, and a longing to return among Syrians in the U.S. 7. Syria's narco state, how the Assads use the civil war for the Captagon trade. New details are emerging about how the Assad regime used the civil war to turn Syria into a narco state, specifically focusing on the production and trade of the stimulant drug Captagon. Inside a Damascus Captagon factory, investigators found sacks of chemicals, plastic fruit, and millions of pills. This illicit trade has had devastating consequences, and the full extent of it is only now coming to light. 8. Putin promises to ask Assad about whereabouts of American journalist Austin Tice. Following a letter from the mother of Austin Tice, an American journalist who disappeared in Syria years ago, Russian President Putin has promised to ask Assad about Tice's whereabouts. Putin has also stated that Israel was the main beneficiary of the Syrian rebels' ousting of Assad. This could potentially open a new avenue for finding Tice and bringing him home. 9. Syrian rebel leader calls for lifting of sanctions, vows to disband and integrate armed factions. Ahmed al-Shara, also known as Julani, a prominent Syrian rebel leader, is calling for the lifting of sanctions against Syria. He has also vowed to disband and integrate Syria's armed factions, saying, "This is not Afghanistan, we will educate women." There is a meeting in France to discuss the situation in Syria, although there is caution on aid and lifting sanctions. 10. Russia sends cargo flights to Libya amid doubts over Syrian bases. With its Syrian bases in doubt following Assad's fall, Russia has reportedly sent cargo flights to Libya. Satellite images reveal Russian military movements in Syria, sparking speculation about their intentions. There are even secret talks reportedly taking place between Syria's new leaders and the Kremlin. Italy has expressed concern about the prospect of Russia moving ships from Syria to Libya. 11. Israel's expanded perch on Syrian border puts Damascus in its sights. Israel's expanded presence on the Syrian border is putting Damascus increasingly within its sights. There's speculation that recent actions in Syria may reshape Israel's borders once again. Prime Minister Netanyahu has reportedly told Israeli troops to stay in the area of Syria's Mount Hermon until the end of 2025, indicating a long-term strategy. 12. Israel strikes Houthi targets in Yemen after missile attack. Israel has launched airstrikes against Houthi targets in Yemen, hours after a Houthi missile attack targeted Israel. The missile reportedly hit an Israeli school, prompting a swift response. This exchange of strikes marks a significant escalation in the conflict and raises concerns about a wider regional war. 13. Human Rights Watch accuses Israel of acts of genocide in Gaza over water access. Human Rights Watch has accused Israel of committing acts of genocide in Gaza by deliberately depriving Palestinians of water. An Israeli-American historian has also come forward, stating he now believes Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. This comes as MSF releases a report on Gaza, calling it a death trap and exposing Israel's campaign of total destruction. These are very serious accusations that are sure to intensify the debate around the conflict. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more breaking news.